Welcome back to another edition of Coffee Time with TD. Move over, Rova, and let TD take over. Be good or be good at it. I hope you had an absolutely magnificent weekend, and I hope it was filled with light, love, peace, hope, and joy with your family, with your friends, and I hope you had an absolutely magnificent time. So, let's get to it. We got a good one for you today. That's right. Joe Biden issued a full and unconditional pardon for Hunter Biden. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying I have absolutely no problem with it whatsoever. I don't. Because a parent's lifelong job is protecting their children. That's the truth. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But Joe Biden did what he had to do. And sometimes doing what you have to do is not easy. I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it whatsoever. He did what he had to do to protect his son from Donald Trump, from King Trump. I have absolutely no problem with him. He's leaving office. He's in his 80s. He had to protect his child. He had to protect his son because I absolutely agree with him that Donald Trump would have done everything in his power and would have been successful because King Trump has the House, the Senate, the big seat, the Supreme Court. He's got the Department of Justice. He has everyone and would have done whatever it takes to put Hunter Biden in prison. So I have no problem with it whatsoever. I'm actually glad that he did it. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. What I'm saying is he did what he had to do as a parent. Because no matter what, in his public service life, his first job is he's a parent. And all parents, especially mothers, protect their children. And Joe Biden did what he had to do. And listen, I know he said that he wouldn't. I understand all of that. And listen, all politicians are liars. Some of them various degrees, but we know all politicians are liars. That is why they are politicians, because they are the most magnificent liars the world has ever seen. That is who and what politicians are. To get elected to office, you have to be an unbelievably good liar. And that's from top to bottom. I don't care who it is. Democrat, Republican, Independent, do not care what it is. That it has to be your biggest talent is lying. And that's where we are. So I know everybody, the Republicans, QAnon, everybody's going to be, well, he said he wouldn't and all this other stuff. He did what he had to do. He did what he had to do to protect his son because that is first and foremost the most important thing. He did what he had to do. He had to protect his son, and good for him. A full and unconditional pardon. Well done for protecting your son. And I wish more parents were like that and did whatever. I wish my father was like that. My father is one of the worst scumbags to ever walk the face of this earth. I personally think my father is Ted Bundy. My father's horrible. My father is a reprehensible piece of shit. So I would have loved to have had a Joe Biden as a parent who did everything to protect their son. I love it. I've got no problem with it whatsoever. He did as a parent what he had to do, and first and foremost, he's a parent. So good for you. Because if you think anybody in the same position wouldn't have done that, well, you're clinically stupid. If you think King Trump or Marjorie Taylor Greene or Ted Cruz or Matt Gaetz or anyone in that position wouldn't have done the same thing, you're clinically stupid. Most likely you're a person who wakes up in the morning and the first thing you do is prepare your dinner. That's the level of stupid we're dealing with. But everyone in that position would have done that because that's what a parent does. So good for Joe Biden for being a good parent and doing what he had to do to protect his son. And again, life has consequences. I understand all that, and I make no qualms about it. But again, that's how life works. You either have the power to do that, nepotism, power, whatever you want to call it. That is how the world works. And Joe Biden was in a position to protect his son. Let me know what you think. I hope you had an absolutely magnificent holiday weekend, Thanksgiving weekend. Sending you all of my light, love, peace, hope, and joy. Be a good person. Do the right thing. Help people when you can. And I want to know, hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button. What do you think about Joe Biden doing an unconditional and full pardon for Hunter? Let me know what you think. Lots of love.